My mother looked me dead in the eyes and said, "You are nothing to this family. You never were." She meant it as a funeral, a burial, the final word. So I let her bury me. I went completely silent, no calls, no texts, no explanation. And while she was out there telling everyone I had a breakdown, I was sitting at a desk, quietly signing documents that would rearrange her entire life. See, my family thought cutting me off was the punishment. They had no idea. I was the only thing standing between them and absolute financial collapse. 3 days later, her lawyer called me 11 times before noon, and I let every single one go to voicemail. If you've ever been the invisible backbone of a family that treated you like a burden, stay right here. Because what I did next was completely legal, completely cold, and completely satisfying. Hit that subscribe button because this story is about to get very uncomfortable for them. My name is Claire. I'm 29, and for most of my adult life, I was the family secret weapon, the one nobody thanked, nobody credited, and nobody noticed until something needed fixing. My mother, Diane, ran a small but profitable rental property business. 3 houses, 1 duplex. It sounds modest. It wasn't. Between rental income, a refinanced mortgage on our childhood home, and a silent investment account my late grandmother had left behind, there was real money in our family. Quiet money. The kind that doesn't announce itself. I knew about every dollar of it because I managed all of it. Since I was 22, I handled the lease renewals, the contractor calls, the tax filings, the tenant disputes. My brother Marcus, the golden child, the one with the fancy business degree he never actually used, got the title of family advisor. I got the actual work. No title, no pay, just the expectation that I would show up, handle it, and disappear before anyone had to acknowledge me at dinner. My mother never said thank you. Not once. Not in 7 years. What she did say regularly was that I was difficult, that I had a bad attitude, that I made everything about myself. This was code for you ask questions we don't want to answer. The breaking point didn't come all at once. It came in layers, the way ice cracks, slowly, then all at once. It started when my grandmother passed. Grandma Ruth had always been quietly fond of me. She told me once, when I was 17, "Claire, you see things other people pretend not to." I didn't fully understand that until after she was gone. Her will had a specific clause. A savings account, $47,000, was designated for me, not split between the kids, not folded into the estate. For me, specifically, by name. It never reached me. When I asked my mother about the account 3 weeks after the funeral, she didn't even flinch. She stirred her coffee, looked up at me with that practiced calm she always wore like armor, and said, "It was absorbed into estate costs. There was nothing left by the time everything was settled." I nodded. I didn't argue. But something shifted in me that day. Something quiet and permanent, like a door closing at the end of a very long hallway. I started paying closer attention. I pulled old tax documents, cross-referenced account statements I had access to through the property management system, called the estate attorney's office, not as Diane's daughter, but as the authorized financial manager for the rental portfolio, a role that gave me legitimate access to certain records. The $47,000 hadn't been absorbed into anything. It had been transferred, quietly, into a joint account shared by my mother and Marcus 11 days after Grandma Ruth's funeral, while I was still bringing casseroles to the house and helping write thank you cards. I sat in my car in a parking garage for 40 minutes after I confirmed it. I didn't cry. I was past crying. I was somewhere colder than that. I took screenshots, printed documents, built a folder. Then I waited. The opportunity came 6 weeks later when my mother called a family meeting to discuss refinancing the duplex. She needed my signature. I was listed as a co-manager on 2 of the property accounts, a legal necessity she had never bothered to undo because I was, after all, useful. I showed up. Sat down, let her talk for 20 minutes about the new loan terms, the projected returns, Marcus nodding along like he understood any of it. Then I slid a single document across the table. It was a formal letter of resignation from all property management duties, effective immediately, along with a civil filing notice for the recovery of $47,000 in misappropriated inheritance funds with interest and a complaint to the state's Estate Fraud Oversight Board. My mother's face didn't collapse dramatically. It just emptied, like a light switching off. Marcus said, "You can't be serious." I stood up, picked up my bag, and said the last words I've ever spoken to either of them. Enjoy moving forward. Without my management, the properties fell into administrative chaos within weeks. 2 tenants filed complaints. The refinancing fell through. The estate fraud inquiry froze the joint account, including Grandma Ruth's $47,000 pending investigation. Her lawyer called me 11 times. I let everyone go to voicemail. The civil case settled 4 months later. I received $52,400, principal plus interest plus legal fees. I didn't celebrate. I just updated my resume, moved to a new city, and started completely over. My grandmother was right. I saw things other people pretended not to. And in the end, that was enough.